What is up and welcome back, and today we're going to have the ultimate silent ball review. Going to give you the information you're looking for various types of silent balls so you can decide which one is going to be best for you and if it's going to be worth your time and money to pick one of these up. So with that said, let's dive right in. Now I do have various types of silent balls, the In the Lab 2.0, the In the Lab 3.0, all the Wawawewa silent balls, the Pro Edition, the Plus, the X, and also the original model. And on this other side, we're going to have the generic brands, because I know when you're out there shopping, sometimes you're looking and you're seeing a silent ball that might cost 40 or even close to 60 USD, and then you see one that costs 20 and you're telling yourself, which one is going to work for me? Is the 20 going to be the same as the $60 silent ball? So we are going to be looking at the two generics and then one that also, in my opinion, falls in the generic line. So with that said, let's get into all the small little details. Now I am gonna, like I said, I'm trying to make this straight to the point. So which of these two silent balls would I prefer to pick up? It's going to be the original silent ball from Wawawewa. Love this one, and also the In the Lab 3.0. So these two silent balls are going to be my preferred choice, and the reason for it is I love how they bounce, I love the weight of them, and also I like how they feel in hand. So pretty much with these two suggestions, if you are looking to pick up a silent ball, you don't really have to watch the rest of the review. Like I said, try and make it easy for everybody. Now, the Wawawewa, the original silent ball, that one's going to be 28 USD, but there's a $3 coupon right now, so you can pick it up for 25 USD. And the weight is going to be 13.10 ounces. Okay, 13.10 ounces. Here's a close-up so you can see the quality of this silent ball. And like I said, I do like how it bounces. Very uniform, feels good in the hand, it's soft. Right, you can see how I have the lines right there printed on the ball. So very good quality silent ball. I love this one. Bounces real good. The bounce is pretty uniform, like I said, very consistent. So great ball right here. And then the In the Lab 3.0. Now this one's going to be a little bit different than the 2.0 because it does have a sleeve over it. So that makes it a little bit more slippery, less grippy in hand, and that can improve your handles, right? Kind of like Kyrie Irving when he puts there's a video out there when he puts a bag over a basketball. So that makes it harder for you to dribble, so you have to be more accurate. So that's what the 3.0 does. And like I said, I love how it feels in hand, how it bounces. So it's going to be 57 USD, and the weight of this one is going to be 13.60 ounces. So out of all these silent balls, it's going to be the one that weighs the most. 13.60 ounces compared to the original Wawawewa, 13.10 ounces. And I did weigh all the balls beforehand to make it quick and easy. Now here's a close-up. You can see the quality of it. Does have a sleeve on it. Underneath it is going to be polyurethane type of foam. All these balls are made of that type of foam. Of course, the quality is going to be different for each one of the silent balls, but just look at it. Very well made. I love the craftsmanship of this one. Very uniform, looks very good. The sleeve feels awesome. So it is going to last longer with the sleeve, right? We know that foam can fall apart with time. All these balls, especially if you're learning, you're a kid or maybe a young adult, and you're bouncing this in your house and it's hitting the corner of a sharp object or hitting the wall constantly, right? Maybe your carpet even, right? Depending on what kind of carpet you have, it is going to wear down the foam. So the advantage of the 3.0, it can last a little bit longer with the sleeve. Same thing with the Pro Edition from Wawawewa. Same concept, does have a sleeve on top of it, and we'll get to that one next. But like I said, this one right here feels good in hand, but it does sort of want to slide off your hand because of the sleeve. So I would say this is more advanced, right? If you don't mind the ball bouncing around in your house. Personally, I like the original better because I feel I have more control, and I don't want it like bouncing, hitting one of my wife's decorations, right? But if you have space for the garage or nice big living room, or if you're just trying to really improve, this is going to be more for performance, right? Less grippy, like I said. And this one right here feels so good in the hand, but I just like this one better, in my case, in my living room. I feel it just sticks to my hand way better. So there you have it. Both great options. These are my top picks. The Lab 3.0, 57 USD, and the Wawawewa Original, which is going to be 25 USD. So there you have it for those. So moving on, I am going to start out with the generic types so you can figure out if you're going to pick these up. I'm going to say don't get any balls that looks like it comes in a shrink wrap, because that's going to squish the ball. And this one right here, it took a long time to get into a circle. This one on Amazon, it just said generic, didn't have a name brand for it. And this looked like an oval, and it took a long time for it to turn into a circle. And it sort of still bounces a little off. Not that much, but I can feel it as I'm bouncing it. $20, and in this case, for this one, it also didn't come with free shipping, so it was actually $23 with the shipping. All these other ones came with free shipping, all of them, except this generic one, right? So $23 for this one. The foam, I'll give you a close-up so you can see the difference in foam quality. Look at that. You can see that the foam looks kind of shriveled in some areas. Also, some of these generic balls, when they come out, the packaging does smell a lot like marker, right? So that can be a put off for a few days. Give it time, it does go away. Just giving everybody the insights, right? And like I said, when you do squish some of these silent balls, this one right here does not have a coating over it. Some of them don't have a sleeve on top of them, but they do have this light coating over them that makes them feel a little bit more harder. As you can tell, this one has no coating. And you'll see the difference when I compare it with other ones. Right, this is generic number 1. Do have this other generic one. That one's going to be called the Bilimily 20 USD. And the one is better than that one, right? It didn't come shrink wrap, it just came in a bag. So it came out as a circle immediately. It also had a strong odor. This is going to go away in a few days. Give you the close-up of this one. You can see the quality is a little better than the one I just showed you. Less wrinkles, more uniform. Looks exactly the same from far away, right? You wouldn't tell the difference between generic 1 and this one generic 2. But only 20 USD. So you are going to be saving yourself a lot of money, right? Especially compare one of the more expensive options. So $20 gets the job done. Like I said, doesn't bounce the most uniform. It's a little lopsided as well, right? We drop it down. Sometimes I want to move a little bit more over here, depending how it bounces, right? So that's what you're going to expect with these generic balls, right? I'll show you one more. It's going to be from Melon Studio. And why I consider this one a generic, because the price tag is going to be 28 USD. It came in a shrink wrap as well. Man, why do we do that, right? It's foam. It does kind of morph to, if you leave this ball setting down, something heavy on top of it, it does get an indentation with all of these. So keep these, right, free of anything on top of them. And with a shrink wrap, like I said, this one, it didn't come too bad compared to one of these other, the generic one. That one came like a complete oval. This one, it did look a little bit lopsided, but then in a few hours it turned into a circle. But still, the bounce, not the best. Look at that. See right there, it moved. See right there? You saw that one. That one definitely for sure when it hit the ground, it moved in a different direction. I'll give you a close-up from Melon Studio. Hopefully the camera, there we go, can focus. You can see the quality. Compared to the generic, you can see it has a little bit more uniform foam looking. The foam is more packed in. With the generic, you see a lot of little openings in the foam, but this one's, the quality is better. Almost feel that it does have a little slight coating over it. The other ones feel more softer in hand. This one has a little bit more harder feeling to the touch, so it's a little bit better quality. That's why it's 28, not 20. So again, like I said, this one, I wouldn't recommend to get this one if it's gonna come shrink wrap. Again, unless you have the patience to wait a few days, maybe for it to completely turn to a circle and that lopsidedness goes away. But I'm going to say you have a kid that's trying to learn and immediately he's bouncing the ball like right there and move completely different. That might annoy a kid that's trying to learn. Then they're just going to be in the corner somewhere and not being used. So right here we have these three, the Melon Studio, the generic 1, generic 2. The one was called the Bilimily, right? And the weight of these is going to be, for generic, is going to be less. So generic 1 is going to be 10.90 ounces. For the generic 2 Bilimily, 11.95 ounces. And then we're going to have the Melon 11.20 ounces, right? So we're looking at around 11 ounces for these right here. And compare with some of the other silent balls that cost more, these are going to have a little bit more foam. It is going to be mainly 11.75 ounces and up, right? When these are going to be 10.90 to 11.10 ounces, right? So you're going to get a little bit less foam. That's why they cost less. And then the quality of the foam is not going to be the best. But does it get the job done? Yes. Are you going to have the most fun? No, because they are going to bounce somewhat uneven once it hits the ground. So there you have it. You can save yourself some money, but it's not going to be the best quality. So moving on, I do want to mention this little tiny one before we take a look at these right here. Now this little tiny one is going to be from HOBUET. Hopefully I said that right. It's going to be 7 inches. This silent ball, it is a smaller ball. This one I'm going to recommend for the smaller kids. Okay, if you do have a kid that's 2 years old, maybe to like 5, maybe even 6, if your kid's actually a little smaller, you can use a ball like this. Why? Because it's going to be a lot easier to go in between the legs around your back. Because with a bigger ball, it is going to be a lot harder for a little kid to be doing types of moves. He can do this, right? Bouncing in front of him, run towards it, or do a crossover. Even shoot with it, you have a little hoop, right? But he's not going to be able to develop going around the back from between the legs. So you know what kind of boy or girl you have, right? If he's or she real athletic and she's already showing signs of athleticism with the moves, with the crossovers, then a smaller ball is going to be better. They can get that practice in already. So that's what I recommend. This one bounces real good, very uniform. As you can tell, I'm having a little bit harder time because I'm an adult, right? So I don't recommend a 7-inch silent ball for a teenager or a young adult. Look, it's a lot harder when I can just grab this one and go. Look at that. I can go. So way better, way better. For a kid, this one right here, and the price tag is going to be 15 USD. The weight 4.50 ounces, right? It's not gonna weigh that much. It's gonna feel good. Quality foam. I'll give you a close-up. Very good quality. Look at that. Very soft. There it is, right? This brand is called HOBUET. BUHOET. Okay, so there you have it. Very good for smaller kids. Now moving on to this area right here. Wawawewa. I do love that brand. Like I said, one of my favorite ones, the original. Has a nice coating to it. Did I show you this one? One more time, you can compare that coating. Very good coating, bounces very nice, very uniform. Love to see it. Do want to show you right here, that little spot right there. That's where the ball gets fused, very small circle. And before we get to the next silent balls, here we got the In the Lab 2.0. This one I wasn't really too fond of it. The reason for it, I did have a lot of parents complain about this one when they ordered it because they said the foam, the quality started pulling off. And I'll show you. I know it's not Devin's fault when he sent this one to be made, more the manufacturer. You see the quality of the foam. In some areas the foam is more packed thin. In other areas, you see right there, the foam has more openings, more gaps. You see the color difference, right? That all depends when they're making it, the heat of the machine. And then right there, you see that where it gets fused. So that circle is a lot bigger, where the ball actually gets fused at the end of once the circle is done being made. And that right there does feel a little different, feels more solid, and that can cause the ball a little bit to bounce off, right? That's why this one wasn't the best. I don't recommend this one. In the Lab 2.0. The 3.0, fantastic, top of the line. I'm going to say, like I said, all these balls, this one and the 3.0, fantastic, innovative designs. The 2.0, some improvements, and there you have it, straight to the point, giving you an objective review. Now with the Wawawewa, we have the X and the Plus. The X and the Plus, these balls are designed to have grooves in them. I'll give you a close-up so you can see it before we get into the details. Has grooves. You can feel it kind of like a real basketball. Grooves. You see a little bit more texture and more grip as you're bouncing it, right? You can see it has that coating over it. So this is going to be a little bit harder in hand. Going to last a little bit longer if it hits an object constantly. Great quality. This is going to be the Silent Ball X. Bounces very good, feels good in hand. Has more grip than this one, right? As it's spinning in your hand, you can feel it. And here is the Silent Ball Plus. This one feels a little bit softer in my opinion than this one, than the X, right? Feels a little bit softer. Also has grooves. Give you a close-up. You can see the quality. Very similar. Also a detail of these, right there where the ball is fused, kind of does feel like they add a little something so it feels where the needle goes in for inflating an actual basketball. So they really try to make these as realistic as possible. Great quality. Look at the foam. It's going to be the Plus, and the X also has that same detail with that little needle insert. Bounces real good. I like this one better than the X. Personal preference. Feels more softer in hand. Kind of like the original. The bounce is good. The bounce is pretty good for all these. And the price tag for these is going to be, for the Plus, is going to be 40 USD. There's a $4 coupon, so 36. And then same deal with the X, 40 USD. There's a coupon right now for $4, 36. And the weight for both of these silent balls is going to be, for the Plus, 12.10 ounces. And then for the X, 11.75 ounces. So you can see you get more foam in both these. They do feel great in hand. And lastly, we're going to look at the Pro Edition. Pro Edition from Wawawewa. These were from Wawawewa 2. And this one right here is going to be same concept as the 3.0. It has the sleeve over it. And the price tag is 38 USD. There's a coupon right now for $6. So 32 USD for this one. It's going to be less than these, right? Going to be less than the In the Lab 3.0. My only issue with this one is going to be the quality. It does feel like you do have a zipper right here, not as uniform as the In the Lab 3.0. I'll show you what that looks like up close. You can see the sleeve right there. As you turn it, you see that the rest of the ball does not have that. Looks very nice. Very smooth as it's spinning through your hand. And in fact, you can feel some of the texture underneath it. It does feel like they used a plus ball or an X ball underneath it. Then they put the sleeve on top. So you're going to have more grip in this one than the In the Lab 3.0. So, does bounce great. Also slippery in hand. So the zipper bother me when I feel it as it's spinning in my hand? No, because I am a more experienced basketball player. But if you are a perfectionist, you're not going to like this compared to that one. That one just looks fantastic even all throughout. This one does have that zipper that can bother some people when they do feel it in hand. If you are a young player, maybe this right here can be a turnoff, right? Your kid maybe might not like this ball if they're feeling that in their hand. They don't feel comfortable. But I'm going to say this is very, very good silent ball with a sleeve on it. It does get the job done, similar to In the Lab 3.0. Now you can decide what's going to be best for you, what you're looking for. And personally, like I said, In the Lab 3.0, great. If you feel confident in your handles, you have pretty good skill, then that's going to be no problem. You have space for it. You don't have anything valuable around where the ball can knock it over. Good. Same thing with the Pro Edition. You're looking for something that's not going to make you mess up. These right here have very good grooves. Or something like this. I love this one, like I said. This is my favorite personal one, and we talked about it. So I think that covers all the points I want to talk about. Lastly, all of these silent balls, all of them except the generic, are going to be 29.5 inches in diameter. I did measure it with this tool right here that's going to be used for things that are curved. I did line up the lines. I went around like this. Press the button. Let me get this right on camera so you can see how I measured these silent balls. Like that, lined up. There we go, and I press the button. And that's how we find out that they're 29.50 inches in diameter, all these silent balls. The In the Lab 3.0, the X, the Plus, the Pro Edition, the original, and then the In the Lab 2.0. And this one right here, the little small green one, is going to be 21.50 inches in diameter. These are going to be the size of a regular basketball. And then for the generic, actually for the generic, I did have 29.25 ounces. And we talked about is less weight, so less foam. So they are going to be a little bit smaller. 29.25, 29 and 1/4. And these are going to be all 29.50 or 29 and a half. So now you see the difference. Now you can decide. You have all the information you need, right? So you can decide what's going to be worth your time and your money. You work hard for your money. You can decide which one you're going to like the best, or your kids going to like. The quality of these is not that great, but it can get the job done if you're trying to save some money. Personally, like I said, love the 3.0 innovative stuff from Devin Williams, and then the Wawawewa Original, my personal favorite. And this one, if you have a smaller kiddo, is going to be the best, right? I didn't compare other ones, other smaller silent balls, but I just picked this one out. It had very good reviews, and happy to say that I can vouch for this one also, right? It's going to be HOBUET, the 7-inch. So there you have it. Hopefully you got something out of this review. If you did, please sub and like. I am a smaller channel. Every little bit helps a whole lot. We'll be back next time with more. Until then, peace and much love.